what we tried to do tonight is be able to provide council with data and feedback. None of us are medically trained. It seems like in the last few months, though, I've taken advantage of a lot of medical opportunities that I wish we didn't. But I'm grateful for the phenomenal medical care that we have in our community. But I wanted to identify within Hayden one example of a church with various congregations, and I asked them to be able to identify their protocols. It was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They have many, I think 3 congregations in Hayden alone, and I know that they have a protocol. I wanted to read that protocol for council just to give them some more information. I have been asked by the Honorable Mayor Steve Griffitts to provide protocols for continuing to hold in-person worship services during the COVID-19 pandemic. First, let me mention that during these unprecedented times, we are meeting weekly with an abundance of caution to ensure the safety of all who worship with us. Some of the measures that we are taking include the following. 1, prior to our Sunday worship service, we are deep cleaning each of our buildings using approved cleaning agents. We have also shortened our worship time to just under an hour for each congregation. We have supplied each building with hand sanitizer at each entrance, provided disinfecting wipes for the pulpit area, provided masks for those who arrive without a personal face covering, and placed cards on every other pew to help with social distancing. We have also notified each member of the protocols that are in place prior to their arrival so they can be prepared as well. In our instruction, we ask that all who enter the building wear face coverings. We are asking and let me go back to make sure, I'll just keep going, we'll figure it out. We ask that the traditional greetings of handshaking, hugging, and other methods that involve touching be discontinued until the COVID-19 has been conquered. We encourage all who come into worship to sanitize their hands upon entering our chapel area. We encourage all to sit in socially distanced manner. Families and household groups may sit together, but we ask that each group socially distance from other groups. Once seated and social distancing has been achieved, face coverings can be removed. We ask that while singing, that face coverings be worn. We have prepared the sacred emblems of the sacrament in a safe manner, with those preparing the sacrament to sanitize their hands, wearing gloves and face coverings, and spacing the bread and water in a way that minimal touching is required. We ask that at the conclusion of the meeting that face coverings be worn and that everyone exit the building in an orderly fashion and refrain from visiting in the other areas of the building, but rather exit quickly. We are offering a live video feed of all of our worship services for those who are most vulnerable or who do not feel safe or otherwise can't worship in person. We are asking those who do not feel well, or especially those who have symptoms of COVID-19, to stay home so as to ensure the safety of others. While we don't achieve 100% adherence to these protocols, we do achieve 85 to 90% in our congregations. We appreciate the opportunity to gather and worship and pray for unity throughout our community and nation. May God continue to bless each of us, our families, and those who lead our government. May He also bless this great city of Hayden. And the reason I did that is so there's options, as Sandy provided and others. If people are not comfortable wearing masks, they can stay home. And it's a feed, so there's no difference. They have the opportunity to participate in the meetings as best as they can. But I wanted council to be able to see that even without a mandate, that protocols have been able to be put in place within the city. And so I wanted to share that. And then I have one more. And this is from Pastor Ken Smith from Calvary Chapel Lighthouse, and he was going to be here, and something came up, and he called me and asked if I could read this letter. And this is one of many letters that I thought it encapsulated the spirit that what I would like to share or give to council as council deliberates on this issue. Mr. Mayor and City Council, please do not pass a mask mandate for our city. The mandate will only end up with those already wearing masks, and those who don't wear a mask will still not be wearing a mask. This will only cause more stress for our community that is already stressed with the whole COVID situation, and this will put citizens against citizens. As well as causing conflict among our citizens, it will put our police department in an awkward position of putting themselves against our community, which will not be received well. In times like these, our city leaders need to do whatever is necessary to bring our community together and not add one more thing that is going to put neighbor against neighbor. Please take this into consideration. COVID will pass, but the damage we do to our community takes a long time to heal. Thank you for listening, and we continue to pray for our city. Pastor Ken Smith. Council, you've been given specific data as to the urgent concerns that the hospital has. We appreciate Jeff and Laura being able to share Panhandle Health information as well as Kootenai Health information as we identify the crisis in some ways that we have. You've been able to hear and see Ben Wolfinger's letter that from a mandate standpoint, he has recommended that we not have a mandate because of its lack of enforceability for one of the reasons. We've heard from a citizen and many citizens in email and voicemail and letters identifying their concerns associated with the mandate. And we've been able to see that proper protocols can be established by, in this area, churches, but businesses as well, with respect to mask wearing, social distancing, and sanitizing their hands. I tried to give council the most eclectic information possible. None of you that I know of are medically trained, but I'm grateful that you have wanted to be able to at least have time to identify and discuss a mask mandate. So I turn the time over to you to be able to discuss and provide direction for the city. And within that, there's various ways we can go. The city can create a proclamation identifying the need to wear masks or to do what we can within our community. We can do a resolution or an ordinance associated with that. Or we can do a mandate, or we don't have to do anything. And all of those actions are legal and appropriate. Is that correct?
Yes, Mark.
Thanks. I would like to close with this. As a community, we should be united together to help each other. I personally am so disappointed in the divisive nature of what this good community has given to me. We find ourselves in an awkward and difficult situation. I believe, and I have had the opportunity to talk with all groups that I know of associated with this, that we are a group of good people, and I wish that our focus was simply to help each other instead of to point fingers and accuse. And I believe that as Pastor Ken identified, the pandemic's going to pass, but I hope that the ill feelings are not deeply rooted, and that we have the opportunity to come out of this a better community and better people. So I turn the time over to you, council. You can ask questions for those that are here. You can discuss. This time is now yours.